It's really an issue that's had the nation talking since that press release by address by Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. President Cyril Ramaphosa, as we have reiterated throughout the day, will be addressing the nation tonight on the recent allegations leveled against the Minister of Police, Senzo Mchunu, and also some senior police officials. It is feared that the allegations, which of course rocked the nation to the core, it could destabilise the police service, but also just compromise national security at large. And so as we continue to get reactions, we're also going to be welcoming David Skosana from MK Party. A very good afternoon to you, Mr. Skosana. Thank you for your time with the SABC at this hour. I believe you're joining us by telephone. And so if the line is clear and you can hear us, let's get your reactions on the allegations following that media press briefing, but perhaps also just the turmoil within the police ministry from your vantage point.
Good afternoon to the viewers and to you too. You know, in the recent days, South Africans have watched with a mixture of shock, admiration and concern as General Mkhwanazi took an extraordinary step. And as MK Party, we are giving him an unwavering support, exposing what was alleged to be a deep-seated rot within the state institution. It's not surprising. Remember that we are having the president as well. You see, it's not different from what we are hearing about the alleged delinquency from the minister, Senzo Mchunu. I mean, in the office of the state security, you've got Kumbuzo Saveni, same thing. I mean, you go to the highest court in the land, same thing. You go to the NPA, same thing. Now, I'm not sure whether, in a final analysis from where we are sitting as the MK Party, you know, Mkhwanazi may well be remembered for not breaking the ranks, but for breaking the silence, which the people of South Africa were crying for over years. You look at the modus operandi. You know, the president is going to use the same modus operandi when he destroyed black excellence, black professionals in this country, you know, from ESCOM to whatever state institution and from government. You know, the revelation from Mkhwanazi in my opinion, and I guess from South Africans, he has rocked the national conscience. The conscience of people in South Africa, for free for that matter. Not this so-called 700 million rand national dialogue where they want to chow money, you know, the group of elites. You know, but they've also raised a pressing ethical and legal question to the end, what does this justify? At the face value, Mkhwanazi exposed a fleet with illegality, disclosing sensitivity and potentially classified information, especially from the position of authority. It's not like a mere man. I mean, whistleblowers, some of them have been killed. And South Africa knows that. And we're not aware why are these whistleblowers being killed. But now Mkhwanazi, indeed, with his own style, has done justice, not because there's no law in this country. Some law are oppressive. It's in a typical prohibited within the framework of government. You know that people will say it's wrong for a law enforcement to do what he has done. So, yet when the public officially are systematically undermined and the institution designed to protect the nation is allegedly captured, indeed, these lawful channels of whistleblowing have either failed us or been compromised. What the record remains now of our conscience as a nation, our hope is that the president, irrespective that he is conflicted himself, will do justice to the people of this country. We are just praying that at least, I don't know how to put it. I don't want to sound like I'm insulting anyone here. Well, this is not a call to condone lawlessness. But the rule of law must always prevail. However, history has shown that President Ramaphosa has failed many times. And as Umkhonto Wesizwe, you know, sometimes civil disobedience becomes a catalyst for reform. Such moments require courage, not conformity. We demand ethical clarity, not blind adherence. We've seen with Pala. We've seen with CR 717, where the judges, you know, today we still have sealed.
Well, Mr. Skosana, yes.
Bank statement here.
Mr. Skosana, exactly to your point about, the need for the president to address the nation, given the severity of what's come to the fore, but also just the impact it's had at large for the country, police stability as well. If we are looking at some of those expectations, right, ahead of the 7 p.m. address tonight, we've heard analysts, we've heard other political parties weighing in. I wonder if you also want to look at the pace at which all this has unfolded. Any thoughts on that? But what are your expectations as we conclude as well?
Let me say this to you. I think during the week, as Mkhwanazi we see, we were very clear that this issue of waiting for 14 days is a waste of time. They'll close ranks on that. But knowing that Ramaphosa is using the same modus operandi in removing people, we know. And in fact, I would have said he must remove himself as well, and step aside. But I'll say on this point to you that the question as well to the president, has he agreed the closure of this task team himself now? I'm not talking about the minister. Was he aware of this? Because the National Commission told us that he doesn't know anything about this thing. And you must remember that the Act does not allow the minister to be involved in filling posts and all those things. Remember, the crime intelligence boss was arrested as well. Yeah. And we were quite quiet. It went quiet. They appeared there in court with with some of his colleagues. But today, what we are expecting from the president, despite that himself is conflicted himself, we are expecting the president to act. But as I'm saying to you, that the issue of suspension and opening all this so-called inquiry is a waste of time. We need to start afresh as government. It was in Parliament. You had former Chief Justice Ngobo with a prima facie evidence. But what happened, he took it to Parliament, they closed ranks, they voted and didn't want Ramaphosa to account. I won't be surprised that this thing will happen again because history normally repeats itself. But you've got a body like IDEC as well. Yeah. It's involved in all these shenanigans. And there's 3 people there, but obviously on our next meeting at the Portfolio Committee on Wednesday, we'll be asking brutal questions about all these matters. But I must say that he must act. He must act, the president today. We know it's an allegation, but Mkhwanazi, General Mkhwanazi, the PC, gave allegations backed with evidence. Now, this crime issue is deep in the high echelons of government. I mean, we saw recently pictures of the so-called cat with the president.
Well, David, obviously we are waiting the verification of these allegations. We're waiting the response and really we too from here. The clock is ticking. 7 p.m. edges closer. As the MK party, thank you for your time and for weighing in and for obviously just echoing some of the questions that remain unanswered.